Hello, I'm back and I'm still working on the circus journals. I thought I would show you a little bit more of the process. As I was working along, I thought maybe you'd like to see how I made the pockets for this book cover that I worked on earlier. I did get the corners on and the other piece of trim. So this is where we're at so far, and I did the pockets. So I found this Everyday Craft, what I have left of it from Paper Studio. I've had this for a long time. And this newsprint type of pattern had circus advertisement on it. So I thought that would be really fun to use for pockets. So what I did was I measured where I wanted the pocket and then cut it about a ½ inch to an inch larger than what I wanted. And the same for the height. I added a ½ inch to the depth of the pocket because I wanted to make some folded tabs so it has a little more give. You can put more in it. It's not right flat up against the book. So anyway, let's just get into it. This is a card that I cut, and I just put it on my Martha Stewart punch board, and I will score it at about 3/8 of an inch in and turn it around and do the same thing. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, right there. 3/8 of an inch, and then it could be 3/8 of an inch at the bottom too. Let's do that, 3/8 of an inch. I think when I made the pockets I did a ½ inch. Okay, so then take your scissors and can you see the score lines? Just cut it at an angle to the score line. Well, sorry about that. So it's angled like that. Okay, and then I also angle the top edges a little bit and fold it in on your score lines. Can't see the score lines. Sometimes this paper is a little bit thicker, so I should have pressed a little harder, but I'm always afraid to press too hard when I'm scoring because I've pressed it right through. Made a slit in it before. Okay, so that works, and then I just take my red line tape and apply it, and I put the bottom down first and then the sides, and then apply it to the book. Once you have your tape on, you just press it right down in there, and there you have it. Sometimes I will stitch some trim up here before I add it, or sometimes I will stitch decoration onto the front of it, but I didn't want to cover up those decorations because that was the point. I could have put some trim on there, but maybe I'll glue something on there. So I hope that this helps, and sometimes I use my hole punch and punch a little thumb hole right there. So that was a simple tutorial, and then I also wanted to show you how I come up with my little templates for the spines. I cut a piece of paper the width of the spine, so this spine is 1½ inches, so this piece of paper is 1½ inches. This one is 2 inches. And then for the height, I use the height of the paper of the signatures. So, of course, sometimes we have varying sizes of paper, but the outer page of each signature always covers, you know, it's the tallest. Nothing is taller than this, so I use that measurement. And I just spilled one of the signatures on the floor, so I'll have to put that back together. So, that's how I come up with the size of the template. And then I'm going to write top on this. And since I usually use 3 signatures, I just take this piece of paper, fold it in half, That gives me the center line. And then I take the edge and fold it to the center, and then take this edge and fold it to the center. And now I have my 3 lines of stitching spaced out. And this is what it looks like with the 1.5 inch piece. So on this one, the signatures will obviously be closer together. Then you could take your ruler and measure. I have a by X-Acto, and I think Tim Holtz has one too, but it's one with the 0 in the center, so this makes it really easy. I just set it on there till the numbers on the edges match. So it's at 3 5/8 at each end, so I know that where the 0 is the middle of my paper. So I just set it on near one of the fold lines and then just mark the 0. And I use 5 holes, and so usually I can do 1.5 and then 3 inches on either side. Usually my books are tall enough to do that. I did do a smaller one, and I do have smaller books that I'm really anxious to get going on, but I would probably do a 1 inch and a 2 inch hole, and that would be the size of the book. So my thing is marked, and then I would take my punch. Let me go get it. This is my little bookbinding kit right here. I take this downstairs with me when I'm ready to sew signatures in. It's got my needles and my threads and my clips and everything. I have 2 punchers. This is the Tim Holtz one, and this is one I got from Stampin' Up. So I just take my puncher and punch the holes. And you've seen other people do this. You know, punch the holes in it, and then I would lay this down. And you have to kind of center it, because I made this the size of my signatures and not the spine, so there's a little space at the top and the bottom. And that's why I marked top on here, so that I don't have, if it's not quite lined up, then I might have a signature up here and then another signature down. And it's just a tiny bit, but it's noticeable if it's not even. So anyway, I would punch the holes here and make it big enough that I can make a pencil mark through the hole, and then just make marks in my spine and then poke holes in the spine, and then get ready to sew the signatures in. And of course, you also have to punch the middle of the signature. So I would take this and put it right in the center, and of course I'd have all my papers lined up, and I would clip them with my binder clips and then poke the holes, and then I would be ready to sew it in. So I hope that this wasn't confusing and it was helpful to you. I just kind of wanted to show you the pockets and how I make my templates. If you have any questions, and if you would like me to demonstrate anything else, just please leave comments below. Thank you.